In just 3 minutes, one phone call turned my life upside down. That's all it took for Margaret Hensley, the self-proclaimed queen of Pinewood Shores, to unravel her own empire. She dialed 911 because I was grilling burgers at my new riverside cottage. Burgers. But here's the wild twist. Those 3 minutes gave me everything I needed to tear down her iron-fisted homeowners association for good. What started as a sunny Saturday cookout in June 2024 became the spark that freed an entire neighborhood from 5 years of petty tyranny. 50 families broke free from her bureaucratic chokehold, all because Margaret couldn't stand the smell of charcoal. This story is so outrageous you'll think I'm spinning a tale, but I've got the video proof. Buckle up, this one's a ride. I'm Lucas, 34, a burned-out graphic designer who traded city chaos for a quiet life on the Willow River. My little cottage in Pinewood Shores, a cozy community of 30 homes nestled along the water, was my sanctuary. That Saturday, I was christening my backyard with a proper BB Juicy Angus burgers, my dad's secret sauce, the works. The sun was shining, the river sparkled, and classic rock hummed softly from my portable speaker. The grill puffed that perfect wisp of smoke, and I thought, this is it. This is my fresh start. My neighbor, Mr. Clarence, a 68-year-old widower who'd lived there forever, was pruning his roses next door. He gave me a nod and shouted, "Smells like heaven, kid." I grinned, feeling like I'd found my place. Then, at 12:15 p.m. I know because I checked my phone when I heard her stomping Margaret Hensley stormed in like a tornado with a vendetta. Picture Margaret, 57, hair dyed a shade too platinum, clutching a leather-bound notebook like it was her scepter. She wore yoga gear that cost more than my grill, and her eyes screamed, "I'm in charge." "Excuse me," she barked, charging across my grass like she owned it. I turned, spatula in hand, confused. "Hey, can I help you?" She scoffed as if I'd insulted her. "You can help everyone by shutting that grill down now." I blinked. "What?" "It's just a barbecue." She jabbed a manicured finger at the smoke. "You're poisoning the neighborhood." I'm a calm guy. Years of dealing with impossible clients taught me patience, but this was next level. "Ma'am, it's a standard grill. I'm cooking lunch." Her voice hit a pitch that could crack glass. "I'm Margaret Hensley, president of the Pinewood Shores HOA, and that smoke is a health hazard. I can smell it from 4 houses away." Then, in a move I couldn't have dreamed up, she whipped out her phone like a cowboy drawing a pistol. "If you won't comply, I'll make you." I laughed, not mockingly, just pure disbelief. "You're calling someone over a burger?" "I'm calling 911, she snapped. And she did. Standing 10 feet from my sizzling patties, she dialed emergency services. "Yes, I'm reporting a severe air quality violation at 214 Riverbend Lane. This man's grill is spewing toxic smoke, endangering our community." I stood there, spatula dangling, as she painted my cookout like I was running a coal plant. She hung up, smirking. "Now you'll learn to follow rules." 3 minutes later, sirens wailed. 3 minutes. That's how fast Margaret exposed herself as someone who'd weaponized 911 over a backyard barbecue. That's when I knew. This wasn't just about burgers. It was war. Officer Daniels arrived, looking like he expected a hazmat situation. He was maybe 35, with the tired eyes of someone who'd seen too many nonsense calls. He stepped out, glanced at my grill, then at Margaret, then back at the grill. "Sir, we got a report of hazardous smoke." Margaret rushed him, notebook flapping. "Officer, thank God. This man's pollution is a public health crisis." Daniels walked over, inspected the grill, burgers looking perfect, by the way, inside. "Ma'am, this is a standard barbecue. The smoke's normal." Margaret's face turned crimson. "But the fumes." Daniels cut her off, polite but firm. "Barbecue smoke isn't a pollutant. He's within his rights." He shot me an apologetic look and left. Margaret glared at me, venom in her eyes. This isn't over. She was right. It was just the start. Monday morning, my mailbox was a war zone. Margaret had unleashed a barrage of violation notices on official HOA letterhead. First, a $350 fine for excessive noise from my speaker, which was barely audible. Second, a $250 fine for landscaping noncompliance. My lawn was 3.1 inches tall, 0.1 over the limit. Third, a $450 fine for unapproved exterior aesthetics, because my cottage's cedar siding wasn't on her color chart. Then came fines for parking my car improperly in my own driveway, $200, using the wrong font on my house numbers, $150, and leaving a rake visible, $175. Total, $1,575. For grilling burgers. Tuesday brought the gut punch. A certified letter threatening to cut off my water and electricity in 48 hours unless I paid. I sat in my kitchen, staring at the cottage I'd saved for years to buy, feeling like I'd traded corporate hell for suburban fascism. By Tuesday night, I was browsing real estate sites, heart heavy, ready to sell. At 1 a.m., I posted a listing, Riverside Cottage, motivated seller. It felt like surrender. Then, Wednesday morning, Mr. Clarence changed everything. He showed up with coffee and a look that said he meant business. "Lucas, I saw your listing. Don't do it. We need to talk." We sat on my porch, the river glinting in the morning light. "That woman's been terrorizing this place for 5 years," he said. "You're not her first target, and you won't be her last unless someone stops her." I sighed. "She's got the HOA behind her. What can I do?" Clarence grinned, a spark in his eyes. "She's not as untouchable as she thinks. She's been after your cottage for years, tried to buy it, harassed the last owners until they fled. And I bet she's been skimming our dues." My jaw dropped. "Skimming?" He nodded. "Those maintenance fees? Look around. This place is falling apart." Suddenly, it clicked. The 911 call, the fine-sit wasn't about rules. It was personal. Clarence leaned in. "Fight back, Lucas. You've got more friends here than you know." I pulled my listing and dove in. As a designer, I knew how to dig for patterns, and Margaret had left a trail. I requested 3 years of HOA financials, a right any homeowner has. Margaret stalled, claiming audits, lost files, board approvals, but when I cited state law and threatened legal action, she caved. The records were a goldmine. The HOA had paid $70,000 to Riverfront Services for maintenance over 2 years, $35,000 for dock repairs, $20,000 for lighting, $15,000 for landscaping. But a walk around Pinewood Shores told a different story. The dock was rotting, lights flickered, and the landscaping was a mess. A quick online search revealed Riverfront Services was owned by Margaret H. Hensley, registered to her home address. She'd been pocketing our money for fake work. Then I found emails from 2 years ago between Margaret and the previous owners, Tom and Lisa Carver. She'd offered to buy their cottage for double its value, then buried them in fines when they refused, noise complaints for mowing their lawn, threats to disconnect utilities over holiday lights. They'd fled to Oregon. Now she was running the same playbook on me. I called an emergency HOA meeting, citing financial irregularities. Margaret tried to block it, claiming I lacked standing, but I quoted bylaws and forced it through. The meeting was set for Thursday, 7 p.m., at the community hall. Word spread fast. Neighbors whispered about the new guy challenging Margaret's 5-year reign. Some doubted Meshed ruled too long to fall. Others, like Clarence, shared stories of her petty enforcement. Thursday night, the hall was packed, standing room only. Margaret swept in, dressed like a CEO, flanked by her loyalists. She opened with a speech dripping with condescension. "We're here because a new resident has made baseless claims against our leadership. Let's resolve this quickly and protect our community's values." Her fans nodded, but I was ready. When my turn came, the room went silent. I hooked my laptop to the projector and began. "I'm not here to argue. I'm here to show you the truth." Slide 1. Margaret's email to the Carvers, offering to buy their cottage and hinting at enforcement relief. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Slide 2. A stack of fines against the Carvers, identical to mine. They left because Margaret made their lives hell. Her face paled. Slide 3. Financials showing $70,000 paid to her company for work that never happened. "This is our money, stolen for years." The room erupted. Margaret shrieked. "Those are lies," but the evidence was undeniable. By the end, her loyalists were silent, and the crowd was mine. The next week was quiet, too quiet. Clarence warned me. Margaret's not the type to go down gracefully. Watch your back. He was right. Monday, anonymous notes appeared under my door. "You think you won? This isn't over." Late-night calls woke me, hanging up after one ring. She drove past my cottage daily, sometimes parking at my driveway's end, just staring. Fake reviews tanked my freelance business. all from new accounts using her buzzwords. When I mentioned dissolving the HOA entirely, she lost it. A note in my mailbox read, "Want barbecue freedom? I'll give you fire to burn it all." Thursday night, at 2:47 a.m., my security camera pinged. I'd installed it after her harassment began. The feed showed Margaret, wielding a golf club, tearing through my backyard like a hurricane. She smashed my patio table, dented my grill, and ripped out my girlfriend's flower beds. She soaked everything with my hose, then spray-painted "Get Out" across my cottage. Her voice, caught on audio, was unhinged. "If I can't have this, no one will." She slipped on the wet deck, leaving behind a monogrammed scarf M.H. in gold thread. Friday morning, I called Officer Daniels. He watched the footage, jaw-dropping. "This is felony vandalism. She's done." By noon, Margaret was in cuffs, marched out in front of gawking neighbors. The community exploded, sharing years of her abuses, fines for wrong mailboxes, fence measurements with a ruler. The local paper ran it. HOA president arrested for vandalism. Her mugshot went viral. But I wasn't done. Margaret's meltdown showed everyone the HOA's flaw. It bred tyrants. I proposed dissolving it entirely, replacing it with a $50 per month property management service for basics like trash and snow removal. At the next meeting, I showed the math. $200 per month in HOA fees versus $50, saving $90,000 yearly for 50 homes. Clarence backed me, reminiscing about a freer Pinewood Shores. The vote was a landslide, 48-2 to dissolve. We celebrated like we'd won a war. 6 months later, Margaret's house was sold. She'd pleaded guilty, paid restitution, and vanished. Pinewood Shores thrived, property values soared, and a community garden bloomed where her house stood. Every Saturday, I grill burgers, the smoke a quiet middle finger to her ring. The best part? A text from Tom Carver, thanking me for ending Margaret's terror. She'd driven out 3 families before me, but one stubborn cookout stopped her cold. What's your take? Did Margaret get what she deserved? Or should I have let her off easier? Would you have fought or fled? Drop a comment, hit like if you love this justice, and subscribe for more stories of taking down bullies. Should HOAs be banned entirely, or can they ever work? Let's argue below.